Hello everyone, welcome to Business School 101. Imagine sitting down to eat your favorite chocolate cake. That first bite is amazing, right? You feel satisfied, and maybe even the second or third bite tastes just as good. But as you keep eating, something happens. Each additional bite is a little less satisfying than the one before. Eventually, you reach a point where you don't want any more at all. This is the perfect example of a key concept in economics, the law of diminishing marginal returns. So what exactly is it? How it works? Are there some real-world applications and why it is critical for us to understand? In this video, I will explore these questions with you. Section 1. What is the law of diminishing marginal returns? The law of diminishing marginal returns is a theory in economics that predicts that after some optimal level of capacity is reached, adding an additional factor of production will actually result in smaller increases in output. For example, imagine you own a small bakery with one oven. At first, hiring an additional baker significantly increases the number of cakes you can produce. However, as you keep hiring more bakers, the limited space and the single oven mean that each additional baker contributes less to total production. Section 2. How does it work? In general, the law of diminishing marginal returns can be broken down into 3 stages. Stage 1. Increasing marginal returns. Initially, when you add more input, the output increases at a rising rate. This is because the new input complements the existing resources. For example, early on, when the bakery hires its first few additional bakers, production rises significantly because more hands are available to mix, bake, and package orders. Stage 2. Diminishing marginal returns. After a certain point, adding more input leads to smaller increases in output. The limited fixed resources, like space or machinery, reduce the efficiency of the extra input. For example, as the bakery continues to hire more bakers, the increase in production slows down. There's only one oven, so bakers have to wait their turn to bake, reducing their overall productivity. Stage 3. Negative marginal returns. Eventually, adding more input can actually decrease output. Overcrowding or overuse of resources can lead to inefficiencies, mistakes, or even losses. For example, if the bakery hires too many bakers, they may start bumping into each other and working less efficiently. Too many workers in the same space can cause confusion, leading to fewer cakes being produced than before. Section 3. Real-world applications. You might be wondering where else the law of diminishing marginal returns can be applied. This concept shows up in various areas of production, business operations, and even marketing. Number 1. Manufacturing. Factories have a limited number of machines, so adding more workers to the production floor only helps up to a point. Beyond that, workers might wait for their turn to use the equipment, and the benefits of hiring additional workers diminish. For example, in a small car manufacturing plant with a limited number of welding machines, hiring more workers initially increases production. But after a certain point, new workers are left standing idle, waiting to use the machines, causing a slowdown in production. Number 2. Agriculture. Farmers experience diminishing marginal returns when they add too much labor or fertilizer to a fixed amount of land. Beyond a certain level, the benefits from adding more workers or chemicals decline. For example, a farm with 10 acres of land might initially increase crop yields by hiring more workers or adding fertilizer. But after reaching an optimal level, adding more workers results in diminishing returns because the land can only produce so much. Number 3. Marketing campaigns. In marketing, diminishing marginal returns occur when increasing the advertising budget leads to smaller gains in sales. After saturating the market, additional spending on ads yields less response from consumers. For example, a small online business might see a boost in sales after doubling its ad budget, but eventually, further increases in spending have a much smaller impact on attracting new customers. Section 4. Why it matters. Understanding the law of diminishing marginal returns is essential for 2 reasons. Number 1. Resource allocation. Knowing when returns start to diminish allows companies to allocate resources, whether labor, capital, or materials, more efficiently and avoid overinvestment. Number 2. Cost management. The law also helps businesses manage costs by preventing unnecessary increases in input that do not yield proportional increases in output, keeping operations profitable. For example, imagine you run a small food truck business. You might be tempted to hire more employees during peak times, but after a certain number of workers, additional hires might not make your operations faster or more efficient. Understanding diminishing marginal returns will save you money and prevent overcrowding in your small kitchen. Section 5. Conclusion. To wrap it up, The law of diminishing marginal returns is a theory in economics that predicts that after some optimal level of capacity is reached, adding an additional factor of production will actually result in smaller increases in output. It also shows that more input doesn't always lead to more output, at least not in the long run. Whether you're running a manufacturing plant, a farm, or a marketing campaign, understanding this principle helps you make better decisions about resource allocation and cost management. Alright, that's all for today's topic. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.